What's crack-a-lack-a-lackin', fellas? This is day 3 of 31 days of Halloween. And today, I want to read chapter 1 of The Exorcist because why not? It's spooky season, and we're just going to read it. Of course, if you are enjoying this, I would recommend some comments or some likes or even some DMs on Discord like, hey, that video was okay, or some shit. Alright. I lied. This is not chapter 1. This is the prologue. Northern Iraq. The blaze of the sun wrung pops of sweat from the old man's brow. Yet he cupped his hands around the glass of hot sweet tea as if to warm them. He could not shake the premonition. It clung to his back like chill, wet leaves. The dig was over. The tell had been stifled, stratum by stratum. The entrails examined, tagged, and shipped. The beads and the pendants, gyplodics, I don't know what that word is, I'm sorry. Phalli, groundstone, mortars, stained with ochre, burnished pots. Nothing exceptional. An Assyrian ivory toilet box, and men. The bones of man. The brittle remnants of cosmic torture that once made him wonder if matter was Lucifer upward, groping back to his God. And yet, now he knew better. The fragance of licorice plant and tamarisk, tugged at his poppy hills. To be reeded plains, to the ragged, rock-strewn bolt of road, flung itself headlong into the thread. Northwest, Swansea east. East, Erbil. South was Baghdad and Kirkuk, and the fiery furnace of the Nubashan, sir. I have no idea what that fucking word is, but I'm not gonna fucking try it. He shifted his legs underneath the table in front of the lonely roadside charkhana and stared at the grass stains on his boots and khaki pants. He sipped at his tea. The dig was over. What was the beginning? He dusted the thought like clay, fresh, fine, but he could not tag it. Someone wheezed from within the truckin. The withered propeller shuffling toward him, kicking up dust in Russian-made shoes that wore like slippers. Running backs pressed under his heel. Darker shadow slipped over it. Chawanga? Man in khaki shook his head, staring down at the laces. Crusted shoes caked thick with debris of the pain of living. The stuff made of the cosmos, he softly reflected. Matter, yet somehow, finally spirit. Spirit in the shoes were to him but aspects of a stuff more fundamental. Stuff was primal and totally other. The shadow shifted. The curd stood waiting like an ancient debt. The old man in khaki looked up into the eyes that were damply bleached, the membrane of an eggshell, and had been pasted over the iris. The kuma. once he could not have loved this man. He slipped out his wallet and probed for a coin. Among its tattered, crumpled tenants, a few dinars, an Iraqi driver's license, a faded plastic calendar card that was 12 years out of date. It bore inscription unreserved. What we give to the poor is what we take with us when we die. Card had been printed by Julia Mission, Jesuit Missions. He paid for his tea and left a tip of 50 fils on the splintered table, the color of sadness. He walked to his jeep, a gentle, ripping click of keys sliding into the ignition. It was crisp in the silence. For a moment, he waited, feeling out the stillness, clustered and on the summit of a towering mound. The fractured rooftops of Erbil hovered far in the distance, poised in the clouds like a rubbled, mud-stained benediction. The leaves clutched tighter at the flesh on his back. Something was waiting. Alamak Chawinga, rotted teeth. The Kurd was grinning, wavering farewell. The man in khaki groped it for a warmth in the pit of his being. Came up with a wave and a mustard smile. It dimmed as he looked away. He started the engine, turned in a narrow, eccentric U, and headed toward Mosul. The Kurd stood watching, puzzled by a heart-dropping sense of loss as the jeep gathered speed. What was it that was gone? What was it he felt in the stranger's presence? Something like safety, he remembered. A sense of protection and deep well-being. Now dwindled in the distance, the fast-moving jeep. He felt strangely alone. The painstaking inventory was finished by 10 after 6. The Mosul curator of Antiquities, an Arab, his sagging cheeks, was carefully penning a final entry to the ledger of his desk. For a moment he paused, looking up at his friend. He dipped his pen point into the inkpot. The man in khaki seemed lost in his thought. The man standing by the table, hands in his pockets, staring down at some dry, tied whisper of the past. The curator observed him, curious, unmoving, then returned to the entry, writing in a firm, very neat script. Then Alazdi sighed, setting down the pen as he noted the time. Train to Baghdad, up to date. He blotted the page and offered tea. Okay, that's not working. I just tried something silly, bro. What the fuck? The man in khaki shook his head, his eyes fixed on something on the table. The Arab watched him, vaguely troubled. What was in the air? There was something in the air. He stood up, moved closer. He felt a vague prickling at the base of his neck as his friend at last moved, reaching down for an amulet, cradling it pensively in his hand. It was a green stone head of the demon Pazuzu, personification of the southwest wind. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Its domination was sickness and disease. The head was pierced. The amulet's honor had worn it as a shield. Evil against evil, breathed the curator, languidly fanning himself with a French scientific periodical, an olive oil thumbprint smudged on the cover. His friend did not move. He did not comment. Is something wrong? No answer. Father? The man in the khaki appeared not to hear, absorbed in the amulet. Last of his finds. After a moment, he set it down, lifting a questioning look to the Arab. Have you said something? Nothing. They murmured farewells. At the door, the curator took the old man's hand with an extra firmness. My heart was a wish, Father, that you would not go. You would not go. His friend answered softly. In terms of tea. In terms of tea, of times, and of something to be done. No. I meant home. The man in khaki fixed his gaze on a spar. A speck of boiled chickpea nestled in the corner of the Arab's mouth. Yet his eyes were distant. Home, he repeated. The word had the sound of an ending. The States, the Arab curator added, instantly knowing why he had. Man in khaki looked into the dark of the other's concern. He never found it difficult to love this man. Goodbye, he whispered, then quickly turned and stepped into the gathering gloom of the streets. In a journey home whose length seemed somehow undetermined. I'll see you in a year, the curator called after him from the doorway. The man in khaki never looked back. The Arab watched his dwindling form as he crossed the narrow street at an angle, almost colliding with a swiftly moving droshky. It's a cab or a corpulent old Arabian woman. Her face is shadowed behind the black lace, draped loosely like a shroud. He guessed she was rushing to some appointment. He soon lost sight of his hurrying friend. The man in khaki walked, compelled. Shrugging the loose of the city, he breached the outskirts, crossing the Tigris. Nearing the ruins, he slowed his pace. For every step in the inchoate premonition took firmer, more horrible form. Yet, he had to know. He would have to prepare. The wooden plank that bridged the Kosher, a muddy stream, creaked under his weight. And when he was there, he stood on a mound where once gleamed a 15-gated Nineveh, feared nest as Syrian hoarders. Now, the city lay sprawled in the bloody dust of its predestination. Yet, he was here. The air was still thick with him. That other who ravaged his dreams. A Kurdish watchman, rounding the corner, unslung his rifle and began to run toward them. Abruptly stopped and grinned, the face of recognition, and proceeded on his rounds. The man in khaki prowled the ruins, the Temple of Nabu, Temple of Ishtar. He shifted vibrations at the base of the Ashurbanipal. He paused and shifted a sidelong glance to a limestone statue looking into good ragged wings, talon feet, bulbous, jutting, stubby penis, and a mouth stretched taut with a feral grin. Demon Pazuzu. Abruptly, he said. He knew it was coming. He stared at the dust, quickening shadows. He heard the dim yappings of savage dog packs prowling the fringes of the city. The orb of the sun was starting to fall below the rim of the world. He rolled his shirt sleeves down and buttoned them as a shivering breeze sprang up. Source, southwest. He hastened towards Mosul and his train, his heart encased the icy conviction that soon he would face the ancient enemy. That is the prologue of The Exorcist. I wanted to do something, and this is all I really had time to do, so I hope you all enjoyed it. Once again, like the last video, comment, and like. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. I'm going to tell you to like and comment. Or dislike, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Bye.